Clark's comeback is complete. The Fever dominate the Wings. Let's get into it. Caitlin Clark looked strong. Everybody was on the court working as a unit. This was a big relief considering some things during last game that were inconsistent and didn't seem like they were playing as a team. But today, against the Dallas Wings, they were a unit. They practiced good defense, they practiced good offense, they went downhill, transitional baskets. They were on their job. And it was good to see. Whatever has been said about the coaching staff, whatever has been said about the rotations, whatever has been said about maybe some possible internal conflict, guess what? If any of that stuff is true, okay. But guess what? Today, they dominated the Wings. They came out as a team. They were working as a team. They showed that they were communicating. They showed that they were there to win. They showed that they can be consistent. They showed that they are capable of going even farther, possibly even the playoffs. So let's get into it some more. The first quarter, Dallas 27, Indiana 28. They were close. They were neck and neck. That gave us a good battle. We saw a good first quarter game. Absolutely. And like most of us, we were sitting on our the edge of the seat and waiting for Caitlin to shoot that three-pointer. And she did, and it went in, and we all celebrated. That was so good. Second quarter, Dallas 15 and Indiana 36. Indiana now is pushing. They're at their own pace, going their own rhythm. All right. They have a plan of attack. They're following through. They're doing what needs to be done. And they have momentum. And they don't stop. They keep pushing. Pushing. Third quarter, Dallas 21, Indiana 20. Not that far behind. But they keep pushing. Now, the Dallas Wings with Paige Beckers on it is not a team that you want to go to sleep on. At any time, you know, things could happen. Three-pointers could be falling. Baskets could be made by the Wings. But it just so happens that the Indiana Fever are keeping up their momentum. So basket for basket. Then the fourth quarter, Dallas 20, Indiana 18. By this time, at the end of the fourth quarter, probably maybe about 4 minutes to go, their starters went off the floor. And then the bench came on. The bench gave up some points, which, if the starters were still in there, that probably wouldn't have happened. But it was okay because the Fever knew they had the points to win, and they did. The score was 83 to 102, Indiana Fever. And so what they did, though, that's so important is they played all the way through. It's like each action, each scheme that they had, they meticulously and intentionally ran those plays. Okay? And when it was time for Caitlin to have her hand on the ball, it was given to her. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. It was given to her. And she assisted after assisted after assisted. And it was wonderful to see how she can move a ball down court. She's like a football player. She's like a quarterback. She can shoot that ball down the court with ease. Quarterbacking. Love it. Love it. Let's get into it some more. Indiana Fever. Howard had 18 points. Boston had 17. Mitchell had 20. Hull had 3. Clark had 14. Off the bench, Dantas had 2. Timpson had 7 points. Timpson had 7 points. All right? I'll come back to that. Colson had 3 points. Cunningham, 13 points. And Airy had 5 points. Okay, 3 points made. Kelsey Mitchell, 1 of 3. Lexi Hull, 1 of 1. Clayton and Clark, 2 of 7. And we have Colson, 1 of 2. Sophie, 2 of 3. And Airy, 1 of 3. All right, that was on spot on. As far as assists, Caitlin had 13 assists in this game. 13 in this game. Great job. Aaliyah Boston had 3. Mitchell had 3. Hull had 1. Dantas had 1. Cunningham had 3. And Airy had 6. Excellent, excellent. And guess what? Turnovers were kept to 8. That's good for Indiana. That's good for them. There were 2 blocks and there were 11 steals. And as far as Michaela, let's get back to Michaela. Michaela had 3 out of 9 field goals. All right, she played 14 minutes. And she had 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Had 4 rebounds. Okay, so she did good. Every time she's on the floor, she's helpful to the team. She's helpful to them. All right. Let's see what Dallas Wings had. All right. Yuri had 16 points. Louisa had 7. Arike had 2 points. They kept Arike at 2 points. Okay. Maybe she had a bad day, but they kept her at 2 points. Beckers had 21. Quinterly had 13. Quinterly is someone you don't want to sleep on. She will guard you like there's no tomorrow, and she will hit the buckets. Off the bench, Hines Allen, 3 points. McCowan, 5 points. James had 11. And Haley Jones had 5. Okay. They had Maddie Seacrest had a knee injury. Harris, knee injury. And Carrington has a rib injury. That's why they were not in the game. Okay. Now, check this out. This is really good here. As far as field goes, Dallas 34 of 71, Fever 40 of 77. Field goal percentage 47.9 for Wings, 51.9 for Fever. 3-pointers, 8 out of 19 for Dallas, 8 out of 24 for Fever. I like that the Fever are shooting the ball. They are going after the 3 points. Whether they make it or not, hey, sometimes you just got to shoot the ball and get the bucket and just try it, okay? See if you're hot or not. And then we have free throws, 63.6 for Dallas and 73.7 for the Fever. Rebounds, 33 across the board for both teams, 33. And assists, 24 for Wings and 30 for Fever. Steals, 5 for the Wings, 11 for the Fever. Blocks, 4 for the Wings and 2 for the Fever. Total turnovers was 18 for the Wings and 9 for the Fever. Points conceded off turnovers, 23 for the Wings and 9 for the Fever. Fast break points, 14 for the Wings and 16 for the Fever. Points in the paint, 38 for the Wings and 58 for the Fever. Okay. Fouls. The Wings had 19 and Indiana had 17. Largest lead, 5 for the Wings and 29 for the Fever. Okay. Okay. Their attendance today at Gainsbridge was 17,274 individuals. Wow. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. One of the things that I just wanted to really bring the point home here is that Caitlin was playing her game today. She was playing her game today, which means that she was being utilized in the ways that optimize the team's advantage to win the game. And when the team is working as a unit, when the team is passing the ball around, they had great ball handling in terms of keeping the ball flowing through all of them, which is so important, very important. Okay. And one of the things that was said in the post interview by Caitlin, and I'll go into that and let you see that.
Stretch there, and you guys were so hot with the 36 points in the quarter there, and you're just running up and down the court. Was it as much fun as it looked like to people watching it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yes.
fun.
Caitlin, I believe you hit the first shot you took today, kind of deep sigh of relief. But what is it like to get out of the shooting slump? But also beyond that, just see the playmaking overall from you down the line, see throughout your entire team. 30 assists tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I still probably didn't shoot it as good as I would have liked, but I feel like it's coming. Just trying to continue to get my legs under me, and like I said pregame, like I feel like I'm a couple shots away from like having a really good game. So, but I mean, I thought my playmaking was really good. There was, I mean, no reason for me to really shoot that much. I thought, like you look at the box, like 12 shot attempts, 11, 9, 9, 8, 7, 6, like just very balanced, and people executed. And when we have 5 people in double figures, like I feel like we're going to be pretty hard to beat. Like it would take a lot for a team to beat us, and I think we were just kind of firing on all cylinders, moving the ball well, getting to the next action, played out a pick and roll well, and then our defense was good and got us a lot of buckets in transition.
Kind of Aaliyah, off that point, where have you seen, especially the second half of the last game, going into such a strong first half tonight, and then you're able to keep your foot on the gas? Where do you feel like the biggest change, or I guess change, has been to really be so dominant and consistent offensively as a group?
Honestly, I think it starts on the defensive end. We talk about that all the time, just making sure that we get stops because we like to play fast. We like to get the ball up and go in transition. And so we knew that we just had to make sure that we were focused on that end and make sure that we're connected on the defensive end. And then that sparks our offense and we're good to go.
Aaliyah, you look different. You look a lot stronger.
Oh, slay.
You've had a couple
Thanks.
strong seasons, but is there some kind of secret sauce to your success right now? I mean, you just look a lot stronger and a lot faster.
No, I don't think so. I think just making sure that I was ready to come in. Obviously, playing with the sprinter over here, she likes to get up and down. I think going into this year, I knew that a lot better than coming into my last year. And so for me, I think I was just prepared and ready to go.
Caitlin, we talk so much about your offense and playmaking, shot making, but defensively, tied your career out with 5 steals tonight.
Ooh.
How do you think that first one, though, I think it might have been on page, but just coming across court, you get it, and how do you think that set the tone for the rest of the defense throughout the game?
Yeah, well, I knew my team was ready to trap it on the sideline, so kind of just made a read. I saw she was going to throw it to her post player and was able to get my hand on it, and then got a few deflections out of guard-to-guard switches. So I think just being active, like, I can be a really good defender when I choose to, and when I work really hard on it, and not conserve energy. So proud of myself in that regard, and I think that probably motivates our offense. Like when I bring a tenacity on the defensive end, I think it really helps our offense go. And yeah.
And so it's so important for them to be working as a unit and communicating with each other. That's imperative for teams winning. Just like defense, a good defense leads to a good offense. Just like, going downhill and getting down there quickly is important, in terms of passing the ball. And Caitlin is supreme at quarterbacking, at throwing that basketball like a football down the court. All right. And I love seeing that. Timpson came in and did what she could do. She has a wingspan that's outrageous. It's outrageous. And so when she can utilize that optimally, it stops the opponent. Now, some of y'all have to say, and I saw it too. I know y'all saw it, I saw it too. The refs let a lot of fouling go today. Okay? On both sides, but a lot from the Dallas Wings. Like just let it go. Okay? That I saw some of the footage where they were crowding Caitlin so tough. They were holding on to her. They were grabbing her. You know, and it was ridiculous. If they had a call the number of times she was grabbed and held, she would have been at the free throw line probably 10 or 15 times, if not more. Okay, if not more. And so, they still got to work on that. Yes, it's important to have some fairness. So when the refs make a call, it should be something that is fair across the board. All right, granted, and that's important. But when people are fouling people and it's blatant, you got to speak to that. So the refs still need some more work. Come on now, get it together, refs. Get it together. Get it together. Okay, so then we have, again, the team. Howard's passing the ball, which is good. She's passing the ball back to Caitlin. That's where it's supposed to be, in Caitlin's hands. Kelsey did her thing, okay, and she also passed the ball to Caitlin, and when it was appropriate, okay. So this game today, we didn't see too much funny business going on. Thank goodness. And it was more team effort. There was more of a cohesiveness working at the team. They were being precise, playing with precision, and they were just really on it. I mean, some of the plays were just wonderfully done. The whole thing about Caitlin, Caitlin has come back. Okay, she's come back. She's doing what's necessary to make sure she's healthy. But today's what I saw, she's you know playing like her old self pretty much. She's got still some work to do on getting back to 3 point stuff and getting back into the main swing of different things. But she's good on the court. She's good on the court. And I liked that today when it came to the schemes played, when it came to the actions, when it came to the rotation, they all worked. They all pretty much worked. Okay. And so, you know, was it because of what the coaches did? Was it because of what the teams did? You know what? I don't care who did what. The Fever won today. They won against the Wings. That's what I care about. And they played efficiently and effectively. That's what's important. That is what's important. Now, the thing is that, you know, the whole thing about whether or not, the coach is the right coach for the team, we're going to find that out. Okay. Because they've won games with the same coaches and they've lost games with the same coaches. Coaches make mistakes. Absolutely. Players make mistakes. Absolutely. This all happens. We all know that, right? The key thing is for them to keep up doing what they're doing, to play as a team, to communicate as a team, to allow each one of them to be at their expert level, to be able to be productive and to produce. These are the important things. And so being gritty, having aggressiveness, having some physicality, having some, uh, uh, you know, just ability to watch the ball, to guard the ball, you know, and to follow through. These are all important things. And the Fever practiced a lot of these things today. Okay. And it was effortless. They just went through what they needed to go through and they did what they needed to do today. Okay. There's some other games coming up before the break for the All-Star. There's some games coming up that they don't have time to be, bickering inwardly. They don't have time to be negative. They don't have time to be, thinking about stuff that doesn't matter. They got to be on their game, ready to be on the court when necessary. So that's really what I have to say today. They did a good job. They were just working together, and I love to see that. I think as fans, we all love to see that. And let me know in the comments what you think about today's game. Let me know what you think about Caitlin and her assisting her teammates. Let me know what you think about in terms of Howard and her play today. And just whatever you have in general comments. I'll read all of them and answer all of them. And hey, if you haven't already, come on, it's time to subscribe. It's time. It's been time. You've been coming on my page. You've been coming on my channel. It's time for you to subscribe, right? And it's free, so you might as well. Also, give me a thumbs up because that helps. And tap the bell so that you will be notified when there's new content available. Okay? Please do that. And my name is Barbara, around the WNBA. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending your time with me. And until next time, go Fever. Peace and blessings.